Namaste students, welcome to second PU electronics class. Now chapter 3, transistor amplifier. This is a big chapter, 12 marks comes from this session, even 5 marks problems will come and 5 marks theory also come. So here transistor biasing we studied about the characteristics transistor. Now we are studying about the amplifier. What is amplification? The process of increasing in the strength of weak electrical signal. Here the weak signal will be amplified without changing the frequency. So one thing you have to note, only amplitude will increase, not the frequency. If frequency changes, what happens? Instead of getting some other's voice, we are getting different voice. So that you have to note, only amplitude will increase, not the frequency. This is very important. So use for the amplification, we are using the device is called as amplifier. So amplifier is a circuit which increases the strength of weak signal. It may be voltage or current or power. So here we have to consider we are not changing the frequency. Now I given two diagrams here. One is the different waveforms here given to amplifier. So it will be amplified, increasing only amplitude. Here you see frequency won't change. Now it is the harmonic motion, that is the sinusoidal waveform, that is the undamped sinusoidal waveform you are seeing here. And here if you give, you observe here no change in frequency. This is the analog signal. So now digital signal can also amplify, but here one thing you have to note, digital signals we have to convert it to analog to digital. I given one diagram here, the microphone, which can the microphone, the sound signal is converted to the electrical signal and given to the analog to digital converter, then amplified, then digital to analog converter, and again given to the loudspeaker. Clear? So here this is the signals, it is only the analog amplifier, loudspeaker which converts sound signal into electrical signal, it is amplified, and loudspeaker which converts electrical signal into sound signal. Now what is the biasing condition for the amplification? I said earlier, the biasing condition or biasing very necessary for amplification or amplifiers. So you studied about the biasing conditions in the first year, that is the emitter base junction should be forward bias and collector or base collector junction should be reverse biased. Base emitter junction should be forward biased and collector or base collector junction should be reverse biased. So which region you are getting here? You are getting active region. So this biasing we are getting active region. In the active region, the amplification takes place. So this is a very important biasing conditions, they can ask for the 2 marks. And here that is the classification of amplifier, different types of amplifiers on the basis of different criteria. So these two criteria are not mentioned in the syllabus, that is two, that is the input signal, they can classify small signal amplifier and a large signal amplifier. The small signal amplifier we are using for the voltage amplifier for the low power applications. The large signal amplifier we are using the large power for the power applications, that is the power amplifier. We are studying later in little detail nature of output, That is again two types, voltage amplifier and power amplifier. The voltage amplifier amplify the voltage, power amplifier amplify power. So, again here we can classify according to frequency range different types. AF amplifiers, that is audio frequency range, audio equipments you can use. Intermediate frequency, IF, intermediate frequency used in radios. RF amplifiers, the radio frequency, AM broadcasting. Very high frequency, VHF, very high frequency amplifiers, FM broadcasting. Ultra high frequency amplifiers, military purpose, TV, communications. Super high frequency, that is the mobile, radar, satellite communications, we can use this type of amplifiers. Operating range, again class A, B, C, one more is there, that is AB. They did not mention in textbook, but they given the textbook only given here. Class A, that is the voltage amplification, we are using class A amplifiers, that is a common emitter, common collector, common base. The Q point is middle of the load line, full 360 degree we are getting in the output. Class B, the Q point at the cutoff region, and we are using for the power applications, only pulses we are getting in the output. And class C, again it is power application, here it is less than 180 degree output. Class B 180 degree, the Q point is at the cutoff point. Here class C, the Q point is beyond the cutoff region. So, AB, it is midway between A and B, the Q point is between the saturation and cutoff point. So, here more than 360 less than 360 degree and more than 180 degree, that is the class AB amplifier. Coupling, depends on coupling. There are three types, RC coupling, direct coupling and transformer coupling. We are discussing detail about RC coupling and direct coupling. Transformer coupling, the block diagrams only we are considering. RC coupled, they are using for the multi-stage amplifiers. So, we are considering more than one stage. RC coupling, here resistance and capacity. Coupling means connecting between one circuit to the other circuit. So, here resistor and capacitor will come into picture to connect one circuit to the other circuit. Direct coupling, directly we are connecting one circuit to the other circuit or first stage to the second stage. Transformer coupling, we are using the transformers, especially in the case of the communication systems we are using transformer coupling, because impedance matching will be very good in the transformer coupling. So, we are using transformer coupled amplifiers, that is RF amplifiers. Direct coupled, that is DC amplifiers, zero frequency, here capacitors are not coming to picture. Stages, I already told multi-stage, more than one stage, that is the multi-stage amplifier to increase the gain. And single stage, only one stage will be there, here only one stage, that is C amplifier, we are studying about only one stage, single stage, they are mentioning in the exam also, single stage C amplifier, we have to consider only one stage. Multi-stage means more than one stage. So, single stage we can use for the low frequency, that is audio amplifiers, and multi-stage for the gain should be very high. So, you can use in the communication systems, and according to bandwidth. So, wide bandwidth amplifiers and narrow bandwidth amplifiers. So, wide bandwidth we can use in the videos and narrow bandwidth we can use in the communication systems. This is nothing but the classification of amplifiers using on different criteria. Small signal amplifier, the word itself says small, the input signal will be very small, it is less than Q point value, and low power applications we can use, and we are using initial stage. This type of amplifiers. So, small signals amplifiers are using in initial stage because for the amplification purpose. So, here I given the diagram. The diagram is not necessary for the final examination, is a little difficult to draw also. Small signal amplifier definition they can ask. So, we have to define, and where we are using radio receivers, TV receivers, because amplification is very necessary, for we are using different purpose measuring instruments. So, here the Q point, the small signals given, this is the collector voltage, this is the collector current, this is the input signal. I have given the different colors, so you can identify clearly. Large signal amplifiers used in, especially in power amplifiers, the input signals are very high when compared to small signal amplifiers. The large signals amplifiers have the value more than Q value, that is the quiescent value, and this type of amplifiers we are using in the last stage of the system, that is the before the loudspeaker we are using this type of amplifier, that is the power amplifiers. Clear? The large signal amplifier are designed to handle large input signals, Q, and this amplitude is larger than the Q point values of the transistor, and these type of amplifiers are used in the last stage of the electronic system, and this provides sufficient power to the circuit, and we can use in the before the loudspeaker or CRT and other devices we can use in the communication systems, because power is very necessary. Again we are using radio, TV, transmitters and receivers. So, both are very important, small signal and large signal amplifiers. So, initial stage we are using small signal amplifier, and final stage we are using the large signal amplifiers. The graph, these graphs are not much important, only the definition and application you study. And general parameters, before analysis this amplifier or the circuits, we should know the general parameters what we are considering here. Current gain, so we are taking the notation A, current gain, voltage gain AV, power gain AP, and input impedance ZI. Why you are calling input impedance? Because we are using AC circuits, or in DC we can take it as the capital R. Here we are considering Z, that is the impedance. And output impedance. Here what is input impedance or output impedance? We can go through, I did not given the definition here, just I give an expression. So, you can write your own. The current gain is the ratio of output current to the input current. Voltage gain is the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage. Power gain is the ratio of output power to the input power. Or input impedance is the ratio of input voltage to the input current. The output impedance is nothing but the ratio of output voltage to the output current. So, you can write easily the definitions. So, this is the one amplifier. So, input current and input voltage I given here, the output current and output voltage give here. So, here these expressions are very important, voltage gain in dB. dB is nothing but the decibel, I will tell afterwards. The voltage gain is 20 log AV, power gain is nothing but 10 log 10, because power is nothing but you know the expression, power is equal to V squared by R. So, actual decibels, that is a larger unit will bell, but it is very large. So, we are considering that deci, deci means 1/10. So, decibel we are taking small unit for the measurement. So, here power gain, voltage gain and power gain expressions, rarely they are asking problems about this. And bandwidth, again we are discussing about the bandwidth, but they given initially the parameters, I included here also. Here this is the curve of the C amplifier curve, this one. Bandwidth is the difference between the higher cutoff frequency to the lower cutoff frequency, that is the BW is equal to FH minus FL. Here we have to consider This is a V maximum. Initially lower frequency it will be decreases and higher frequency also decreases. One particular constant you are getting here, that is the maximum, that is a mid band gain. 3 dB band gain, the 3 dB gain, 3 dB frequency. 3 dB, usually we are measuring voltage gain in dB. Here, why? Because I already given here, need for measurement of gain in dB. Why? Because the human here will be response for the logarithm of the intensity of the sound. It is not directly, it is the logarithmic, that is why we are taking that is the dB. So, why we are considering that is the maximum here only? We taken from this point because till here, this point, so no difference if you consider the mid band gain or 3 dB gain, no difference here. The human here won't respond for this gap, after that it can respond. So, we are considering this is this particular area for the bandwidth. So, this particular area we are not taking from the maximum, we are taking from the 3 dB, because the human ear won't respond for this one, no changes. So, after that it will respond. So, we are taking considering this bandwidth is equal to fH minus fL. Now, half power frequency. What is half power frequency? The power at 3 dB gain. So, you know the power I already told, that is a V square. So, 3 dB gain is nothing but the maximum voltage gain divided by root 2. The power is proportional to the V square, square is there, you remember. So, 1 by root 2 whole square is nothing but 1 by 2. So, that is my half of. So, the power is half of the maximum. So, it is called as the half power frequency. At this point 3 dB gain, the power will be half of the maximum value. So, it is called as the half power frequency. The frequency here is nothing but half power frequency. Now, effect of choosing Q point. The selection of Q point is very important. We have to select properly. We have to get the data from the data sheet. We have to very careful about the IC and VC value for designing. If you take the Q point near the saturation, what happens? Or within the saturation, or the Q point is near the cutoff, what happens? We will see the diagram. Diagrams are not important for the examination. Here, so this portion, this is the input signal, red color I noted here. This is the region here, saturation region. The Q point is near to saturation. This particular point here will be cut off. Here, this is the input signal, this is the Q point near the saturation region. This much of portion will clip here. So, we are getting not the full 360 degree, less than that we are getting here. This is the black portion which indicates it clip the portion. Here, this is the collector voltage, this is the collector current, this is the input signal. Q point is near to cutoff. Here, near to cutoff. Here, you have to mention IB is equal to 0. This is the cutoff region, and this particular black portion will clip. Here, this portion you won't get. So, again you are not getting the 360 degree. Complete full cycle you won't get if you select near cutoff region. Here Q point is in the middle of load line, full 360 degree you are getting. You won't miss any type of information, full information you will get, and proper way it will be amplified, collector current and even collector voltage. So, here it is very important, selecting the Q point also very necessary for the designing amplifier. So, you have to select the Q point should be in the middle of load line. Here next we are discussing about the different types of amplifiers. All the amplifiers are very important. CC amplifier, CE amplifier, CB amplifier. Clear? Now here CC amplifier, the other name is buffer amplifier and it is also called as emitter follower. Here I didn't give the full explanation, I given in notations. So notations you can write in your own language. This is the very simple way. I given only arrow mark. Don't write the same thing in the examination. Put it in your sentence. Here this is the CC amplifier. What is CC amplifier? Common collector amplifier. Common collector amplifier. The collector should be common, input and output. Here if you consider, collector is common to input output. When you are considering the collector is common to the input and output, here we have to take AC circuit alone or AC equivalent circuit you have to consider. Means DC shorted, DC is 0 and you have to consider AC. If DC is 0, this is directly connected to the negative part. So, you can say the collector is connected to common to the input and output. Now, R1, R2 are the biasing resistors. We are using voltage divider bias. RE is the emitter resistor, input voltage, this is the input signal, this is the output signal. Here C2, the output capacitor. C1 and C2 are the coupling capacitor. So, what is the coupling capacitor function? Blocks DC and allows AC. Here the AC should not enter to DC, this capacitor will block. R1 and R2 are the voltage divider bias. Emitter resistor which give the stability and you have to calculate R1, R2 and RE, and we are taking the voltage across RE, that is very important, you have to note the voltage across RE we are taking here. Now, shortly I written the explanation here. Two cases we have to consider. One is the positive cycle comes, what happens, and negative cycle comes, what happens. Positive cycle comes, positive cycle comes, the base is forward bias because it is a NPN transistor, P type connected to the positive forward bias. IB increases, IC also increases, or IC approximate equal to IE, automatically IE increases. IE increases, the voltage across RE increases. So, positive cycle comes, we are getting positive cycle in the output. Here IB directly proportional to the output voltage. So, here no amplification, clear, here no amplification. So, IB increases, directly I increases, we are getting positive half cycle. Here you can note the forward bias, short form I gave, IB increases, IE increases, IE RE increases, output voltage increases, we are getting positive half cycle at the output. Negative cycle comes, base junction is reverse biased, automatically IB decreases, IE also decreases, so voltage across RE decreases and we are getting negative half cycle at the output. So, here when the positive cycle comes, we are getting positive cycle, negative cycle comes, we are getting negative cycle. So, no phase shift. So, it is output is in phase with the input. And the characteristics part here, high input impedance, low output impedance, and the voltage gain, the output is almost equal to the input voltage. So, here V2 is equal to V plus VB, if you consider VB is the very small value, so it is output equal to V in, almost equal. So, we can take it as the 1. So, unity gain, so it is called as the buffer amplifier. So, it is called as the buffer amplifier, and output, the emitter is follows the input voltage current. Input increases, the output also increases, or emitter voltage increases. So, it is also called as the emitter follower. Characteristics: high input impedance, low output impedance. Current gain is very high, it is 1 plus beta, because output current is nothing but IE, input current is nothing but IB. So, I is greater than IC. So, we have to consider it is 1 plus beta times it will be more, and voltage gain is very less, that is the less than or equal to 1. The power gain is moderate, and here we have to consider all the characteristics. I did not mention here because the comparison of all the 3 amplifiers is there separately given. So, there I mentioned characteristics. So, you can go through them, the same characteristics we are considering here also. So, characteristics, you know, that is a comparison part. So, applications we can use for impedance matching and power amplifiers. For the stability we can use the buffer amplifiers used in power amplifiers. Impedance matching, what is impedance matching? So, different type of matchings studied. Here we can say impedance matching. Here we have to connect the one circuit which has high output impedance, the another circuit which has low input impedance. We have to connect 2 circuits. Directly connect, it will not respond. So, what we have to do? We have to connect the high output impedance and low input impedance between CC amplifier, common collector amplifier, because it has high input impedance and low output impedance, especially in the case of speaker, low input impedance. So, you have to connect the buffer amplifiers. So, this is the impedance matching. No need of giving the explanation. If you know the application, that is enough. Next one, CB amplifier. Here common base amplifier. We are seeing the circuit, you can understand base is common to the input and output. The input signal given to the emitter. So, here we are using the dual supply, that is a minus VEE and plus VCC. The negative part I did not show here because the same diagram they given in the textbook. C1 and C2 are the coupling capacitors, RL is the load resistance, RA and RC the resistors, the voltage divider by RA and RC. Now, here CB amplifier, here we can consider input signal. What is a coupling capacitor? You already studied. Coupling capacitor blocks DC and allows AC. Now, V is the dual supply, plus and minus, R is the resistors. Now, again 2 cases we can consider here. Here no need of explain again, that is the base is common. Seeing the circuit only you can understand. Positive cycle comes, what happens? The positive cycle comes, emitter, that is the negative part, connected to positive. So, it is reverse bias. The reverse bias, the emitter current decreases. Reverse bias, emitter current decreases, collector current also decreases. You know, IC is equal to alpha into IE. Alpha is less than 1. So, we can consider IC is equal to alpha into IE. IE decreases, automatically IC also decreases. Now, but IC/RC also decreases. IC, the current decreases, the product of current and resistance decreases, but voltage across here V naught is equal to, that is nothing but the VCB, VCC minus IC/RC. VCC won't change, so VCB decreases. When the positive cycle comes, IE decreases, IC decreases, IC/RC decreases, and output voltage also output voltage increases, not decreases, here it is increases. So, when you are giving the positive cycle, we are getting the positive cycle at the output. So, we have to consider ICRC decreases, so VCB increases. So, positive cycle comes, positive cycle only. Negative cycle comes, emitter is reverse biased. Here negative cycle comes, the emitter is forward bias because negative connected to emitter. Forward bias, what happens? IE increases. So, IE increases, IC also increases. I given the expression IC is equal to alpha into IE. Now, IC increases, ICRC increases. Now, ICRC increases, automatically output voltage decreases. So, negative cycle comes, again output will be decreases, positive cycle comes, output will be increases. So, positive cycles we are getting positive, negative cycles we are getting negative. So, here no phase shift, So, output is in phase with the input. Now, characteristic part, it is the low input impedance and high output impedance. Low input impedance and high output impedance, and current gain, that is output current to the input current. The output is IC, input is the IE. So, it is less than 1 because IE approximate equal to IC, but IE is equal to IC plus IB. So, it is less than 1. So, it is, so that is nothing but alpha is less than 1. Voltage gain, so output voltage divided by input voltage, it is the moderate, that is output voltage is moderate. Power gain, it is moderate. Input impedance low, output impedance high. And application, here impedance matching, what I told before, impedance matching. So, here we can connect the circuit between low output impedance and high input impedance. So, between that we can connect the circuit. So, here we can use CB amplifier for the high frequency applications, At least you remember 2 applications. C amplifier, it is very important for we are studying in detail C amplifier. Here R1, R2, RC and RE, that is biasing, and C1, C2 are the coupling capacitors which block DC and allows AC. VC is the supply. So, C amplifier very high gain, C amplifier which contains very high gain. From the diagram only you can understand, here it is a large signal, here it is a very small signal, it is in the range of millivolt, we are getting in the range of volt. Now, emitter is common emitter amplifier. So, here capacitor, here if you consider DC is equal to 0, this capacitor will be shorted. DC is 0, you remember we have to consider AC equivalent circuit. So, DC is 0. So, this capacitor AC equivalent circuit capacitor will be shorted. So, it is directly connected to the ground. So, emitter directly connected to the ground. So, it is called as the common emitter amplifier. Now, input signal given, there are 2 cases like previous what we studied even in CC and CB. Positive half cycle comes, the base is forward bias, IB increases, IC increases because of that expression, ICRC increases, but voltage is decreases because VCC minus ICRC. So, ICRC increases, VC decreases. When you are giving the positive cycle, output we are getting negative cycle, but amplified because of the beta. Now, negative cycle comes, base, this is the NPN transistor reverse bias, N type and that is this is the P type and negative, that is the reverse bias, you know. IB decreases, automatically IC also decreases. So, ICRC decreases, but here VCE increases. Again the same expression, V out is equal to VCC minus ICRC. So, when you are giving the positive cycle, we are getting the negative. When you are giving the negative cycle, we are getting the positive. So, we can say the output is out of phase with the input. Output is out of phase with the input. So, application part, you can consider this is the low frequency application, that is RF amplifiers, AF amplifiers. The amplification purpose we are using this. The CC amplifier we are not using for the amplification purpose. That is, amplification is not there, it is the unity gain, but here it is very large, more than 50. So, you can consider very large amplification. And characteristic part, I can say current gain, that is the output current divided by input current. So, IC by IB. So, IC by IB is in the range of milliamps, microamps, IC in the range of microamps, IC in the range of milliamps. So, that is the beta, beta is equal to IC by IB, it is very large value. So, current gain is very high, voltage gain is also very high, output current divided by input current, input voltage, output voltage divided by input voltage is very large because of amplification. Automatically the power gain, that is the current gain into voltage gain, the power gain is very high, the power gain also very high. Input impedance moderate and output impedance moderate. The characteristics I given in comparison, so you can go through the comparison part. Application I already told, this is about the C amplifier. Now, frequency response of C amplifier. Here, that is the curve, C amplifier curve we already discussed it before, that is the bandwidth. Here voltage gain, this is the mid band gain, this is 3 dB gain. The difference between the higher cutoff frequency to the lower cutoff frequency is nothing but FH and FL. FH means higher cutoff frequency, FL means lower cutoff frequency. Bandwidth is the difference between these two. And here 3 dB, I already told what is 3 dB, why it is like that. Now, we have to note down here, in lower frequency and higher frequency, the voltage gain reduces. Why? The lower frequency and higher frequency, the voltage gain reduces. Only in the mid frequency, we are getting constant, because the lower frequency, the input capacitor will be taken to part. The lower frequency, you know the expression, already studied in first year, reactance of the capacitance or resistance of the capacitance is nothing but 1 by 2 pi Fc. F is low, the reactance is very high, the resistance will be more. The resistance is more, the most of the voltage drop across this capacitor only. So, it will not allow to the output. So, voltage reduces and which reduces the gain. And higher frequency, here higher frequency, the capacitors has low reactance, this will be shortened, and bypass capacitor also shorted. Here the junction of capacitance and wire capacitance, the capacitance of these wires what we connected are coming to picture, are very low and connected to the output resistance, the output load. So, effective will be less. So, again the gain reduces because the voltage reduces. So, here low frequency and high frequency. Low frequency, the input capacitor come into picture, high reactance, the voltage drop across this resistance, that is the reactance I mean. again the voltage reduces, gain reduces. The higher frequency, the wire capacitance, higher frequency reactance less, all are shorted, so resistance are less. So here which parallel to the output load, again the gain reduces. The mid frequency range, it is very important range. Here the reactance, input reactance will be less and negligible, and output, that is the wire capacitance and bypass capacitors are open. So no question of that is decreasing, so here it is constant. So one will be compensate the other, so you are getting the constant range in the midband gain or midband region. Now we have to discuss about the analysis of this C amplifier, that is the, we can consider DC, we already studied steps involved in drawing DC equivalent circuit. Here this is very important for 2 mark questions, even in circuits also. Reducing all the sources to 0, opening all the capacitor as they block DC. Here we have to consider DC equivalent circuit, you have to consider only DC, AC reduced to 0, AC reduced to 0, no question of AC. So we will get only here the AC 0, all the capacitors are here, AC is 0, only DC and the capacitor blocks DC, means the capacitor are open circuited. Here output capacitor and here input capacitor, bypass capacitors are not there. So here only R1, R2, RC and RE. If we imagine that is the C amplifier circuit, here capacitors are not there because of all the capacitor are open circuited, only resistors are here. So you can calculate, we already did this, V2 is equal to VCC by R1 plus R2 into R2, that is the voltage divider theorem, and V2 is equal to VBE minus IE, here IE is equal to V2 minus VBE by RE. So you can calculate and apply Kirchhoff's voltage to the output. Here VCC is equal to ICRC. So here VCC is equal to ICRC plus IERE and VC. You already studied this equation. VCC is equal to VCE plus IERE plus ICRC. If they ask to draw DC equivalent circuit, only this part you have to consider. So above equations we already studied in the biasing circuits, so you can write, and this equation is necessary for calculation also. And next one, steps involved in drawing AC equivalent circuit, it is very important. Here AC equivalent circuit we have to consider only DC sources. AC equivalent circuit you have to consider DC sources. AC equivalent circuit you have to consider only AC sources, not the DC sources. So here we have to consider DC reduced to 0 and AC come into picture. If DC reduced to 0, only AC will be there. You know the function of capacitor. In AC, capacitor are all short circuited. Here all the capacitor are short circuited. So you can consider the circuit like this way. Clear? R1, R2, no capacitors here because DC is not there, directly connected, and here RC is directly connected to the ground, no DC. Now we have to analyze the circuits using RE dash model. It is very important. Expression for gain, current gain, voltage gain, input impedance, output impedance, power gain and C amplifier using RE dash model. So the transistor here, you are replacing this transistor into this model. Here B, C I consider, B, C and E. Here B is there, C collector, base and emitter. Here This is very important for even for problems. One 5 marks problem will come for the final examination. Input the R1 parallel to R2, already they are here, R1 parallel to R2. This transistor replaced by this portion B, C and E. So, now Z in base, the impedance of this base IB is the base current, beta Re dash is nothing but the resistance of that particular transistor, IB is the base current, beta is the current gain, IC is the collector current, RC. Here it is the emitter is connected to the ground. Now, we have to calculate here input impedance. First we have to calculate Z in base. When you are calculating Z in base, we have to consider it is a very small resistance when compared to these two, R1 and R2. So, we have to consider the open circuited. So, in that case we have to take Z in base. Z in base is equal to Vt, that is the thermal voltage divided by input DC base current. So, Vt by IB, the thermal voltage of that particular transistor we have to take, whether it is depends on which transistor we are using, silicon material or germanium material, that is a Vt. Vt by IB, beta Vt by IB, because IB you have can replace, IB is equal to IC is equal to beta into IB. So, IB is equal to IC by beta. So, beta goes up. So, you are getting beta Vt divided by IB. Now, beta Vt by IE. So, Vt by IE depends on the transistor, that is depends on the voltage. It is a Vt, it is 26 millivolt for the silicon and 52 millivolt for the germanium. So, Vt by IE is nothing but the Re dash. So, beta into Re dash. So, Z in base, that is the base resistance they have to take, that is the beta Re dash for the particular transistor. Now, consider Z in means that is the whole, that is Zi I given here, I taken there Z in. So, Zi that is the input resistance. Here Z in is equal to R1 also should consider, R2 also consider, and Z in base also you have to consider. So, Z in is equal to, there I given Z in, here also you have to write it is Z in only. Z in is equal to R1 parallel to Re, R1 parallel to Re, R1 parallel to R2 parallel to beta Re dash, all are in parallel. Z in is equal to R1 parallel to R2 parallel to beta Re dash, all are in parallel. So, here we have to calculate R1 parallel to R2 parallel to beta Re dash, that is the Z in. So, you have to find the difference between Z in and Z in base. Z in base is nothing but beta Re dash, it is only for the transistor, clear. Z in base, the total input impedance, that is R1 parallel to R2 parallel to beta Re dash. So, you have to take all of the parallel connections. So, output impedance. So, output impedance is nothing but the output current to the output impedance is nothing but output voltage to the output current. So, you have to take output voltage divided by output current. So, output current is nothing but the IC into RC. So, IC. So, IC cancels, we are getting only RC. So, here one thing you have to note, I did not mention here, if they give in the final examination RL, you have to take should be parallel. When you are deriving, no need of writing that, but in the problems if they give RL parallel to RC only, the load resistance parallel to RC. In that case, you have to consider ZO is equal to RC parallel to RL. So, it is both are in parallel. Next, voltage gain. Voltage gain is nothing but the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage. The output voltage I consider here negative sign. Why? Because output is out of phase with the input, that is the 180 degree phase shift. So, we are taking negative sign, the magnitude won't be negative. For the phase shift 180 degree we are considering negative sign. So, output voltage into output resistance and Vi input current and resistance here, that is the base. So, IC cancels. So, RC by RE dash, because IC approximate equal to IE. So, we can cancel. I take an equal, it is approximate equal to IE. So, IB neglected. So, you can take it as the minus RC by RE dash. Here also if they give RL, then ZO is nothing but RL parallel to RC. So, that you have to take into account in the problems, but theory this much is enough, no need of again doing. For the problems if they give RL, then you have to consider RL also. One problem I gave at the end, you can go through that. That is nothing but 5 mark question. It is very important. Most of the question papers they ask. Current gain AI is nothing but the output current to the input current, that is nothing but beta minus IC by IB. So, here I taken minus, that is because of the phase shift. Power gain, output power to the input power. The power gain also equal to the product of voltage gain into the current gain. So, no need of finding again power. So, directly you can do it, the multiplication of current gain and voltage gain. So, this derivation is very important for the final examination problems concerned. So, you have to study very well. 5 marks question sure will come for the public examination. Next one, comparison of 3 amplifier configurations. I already told I will discuss in the comparison part, that is characteristics. Again I am repeating now. You have to compare, I given in different colors here. So, you can go through all this. Current gain, it is very high in C, less than 1 in CB and highest in CC because 1 plus beta, and voltage gain high because the output voltage, because the amplification taken place here, it is moderate, less amplification, no amplification in CC. So, output is similar to the input voltage, no variations. Power gain highest because it is product of that, 1 is less, 1 is high, that is the moderate, and CC also moderate. Phase shift, that is why we are getting negative sign in the gain, that is the 180 degree phase shift, and CB and CC no phase shift. Input impedance moderate, and CB low input impedance, high output impedance, and CC high input impedance, low output impedance. CC both are moderate. CE narrow bandwidth and CB and CC wide bandwidth. So, any of 3 you have to remember for final examination. 3 marks question they may ask. Once they ask for the 5 mark questions, but usually they are asking for 3 mark questions. Common source JFET amplifier. We already studied about the field effect transistor, junction field effect transistor. So, here I already told there also, this is the common source amplifier. So, this amplifier you can compare to C amplifier, emitter taken as source, gate taken as base, and collector taken as the drain. You can compare and you can remember easily. You can compare and remember is almost the functions are similar, only the notations are changing. You can remember easily C amplifier as well as common source amplifier. So, here R1, R2, RD and RS, the biasing resistors here. C1, C2 are the coupling capacitors which blocks DC and allows AC. Now, it is the N channel FET transistor, N channel FET, and this is the amplification is similar to C amplifier. Now, again 2 cases we can consider. Positive half cycles what happens and negative half cycles. Positive half cycles, so that is the VGS, that is the here it is a forward bias, automatically that is the less depletion region here. So, wide channel width, so the drain current can pass through that, So, ID increases, ID RD also increases. So, you can find the output expression V naught is equal to VDD minus ID RD. So, you are getting negative, that is the less voltage in the output, that is the negative part. When you are giving the positive part, you are getting the negative part in the output or negative half cycle at the output. And here the negative cycle comes, the VGS is negative, you know, the VGS is negative, the depletion agent will be more, the drain current will be reduced. So, drain reduced, drain current is reduced, then RD, the voltage across RD also reduced, the output voltage increases. So, V out is equal to VDD minus ID RD. So, when the positive cycle, if you give, you are getting the negative cycle, when you are giving the negative cycle, you are getting positive cycle. So, you can say the output is 180 degree phase shift with the input. So, total phase shift here it is 180 degree. So, this is the common source amplifier, rarely they are asking. So, all the three amplifiers, common collector, common base and common emitter, it is very important for the final examination. Now, multi-stage amplifier, why multi-stage is required and what is multi-stage? I already told in the beginning the classification. Multi-stage means you have to consider more than one stage for the amplification. So, what the amplification we are getting from single stage, it is not sufficient. We have to get more clear and good amplification, because most of them should hear that voice, means you have to increase the amplitude. So, a circuit containing more than two stages of the amplification is called known as the multi-stage amplifier. Single stage means only one stage. There are two types, one is the compound amplifier, another one is the cascade amplifier. Compound amplifiers, I already told, multi-stage. Multi-stage means so many stages are there. Here one stage CC amplifier, second stage C amplifier, third stage may be CP amplifier. So, here the amplifiers what you are using different stages are not similar, it is different. That is the compound amplifier. Each stage, that is a different amplifiers we can consider. Cascaded amplifier, if you are using different stages, all the amplifiers are similar. If you use C means all the stages are C only. If you are using CB, all the stages are CB. So, that is a cascaded amplifier. So, why cascaded amplifier are required? Because of the gain. The gain is not sufficient. So, if you use C amplifier, all the C amplifier, so it is a multiplication, the one stage C amplifier, second stage. The gain of first stage is A1, second stage is A2, then A1 into A2, it is double, 100 into 100, that is the 10,000 you can get. So, it is the gain. So, we have to consider more gain. Expression for overall gain in multi-stage amplifier. I consider only two stages here, because you can understand clearly. The first stage, the gain will be AV1, second stage AV2. Now, you know the output expression, now the gain expression is equal to V out by Vi. Here you consider V out by Vi, the overall gain is equal to AV, V out by Vi. What is V out? V out is nothing but, here AV2 is equal to V out by V1, AV2 is equal to V out by V1, but V out is equal to AV2 into V1. Here properly, AV2 is equal to V out by V1, but V out is equal to AV2 into V1. So, I written AV2 into V1. What is V1? Again, AV1 is equal to V1 by Vi. AV1 is equal to V1 by Vi, but V1 is equal to AV1 into Vi. So, here I written AV2, I replaced here AV2 into V1 instead of V0, and V1 I replaced here AV1 into Vi. So, the finally we are getting Vi cancels, we are getting AV1 into AV2. So, what you can understand here, the one stage and other stage, the gains are multiplied. So, AV1 into AV2. So, if you take n number of stages, then you can write all the gains are multiplied. So, AV is equal to AV1 into AV2 etc. into AVn. So, they can ask small type of problems about this. They will give the different stages, so you can consider, or you can write in decibels also. Multiplication in the logarithm part, you can write in the addition. So, you can replace here log value 20 log, because they already know the gain 20 log of AV, and this is the multiplication, here it is the addition. So, these equations are important for the 2 marks problems they may ask in the final examination. The type of coupling with block diagrams, different type of coupling. Here there are 3 types: direct coupled amplifier, RC coupled amplifier and transformer coupled amplifier. Direct coupled amplifier and RC coupled amplifier we are studying in detail. Transformer coupled amplifier we are not using in this session, because in this portion you are not there, for you it is not there. Direct coupled amplifier, the one stage to other stage directly connected, the output is directly connected to the other stage input. Here no question of that is the any components or any circuits, clear. Here no capacitors also. RC coupled amplifier, the second stage input is connected to the first stage output through here capacitor and the resistance, that is RC. So, it is RC coupled amplifier, studying in detail RC coupled amplifier. And third one, transformer coupled amplifier. Here transformer considered for the communication system, we are using this type of coupling. The output of this connected to the input of the second stage. So, this is the block diagrams are important for the final examination. RC coupled amplifier, it is almost similar to the C amplifier. So, you can imagine C amplifier. So, here 2 C amplifiers are there connected between this coupling capacitor, this coupling capacitor. So, this is one C amplifier, this is another C amplifier. You connected this CC coupling capacitor. Here the working is very simple. First we have to know that is a circuit diagrams, all the resistors here R1, R2, RC, RE necessary for the biasing resistors, VCC supply voltage, coupling capacitors, bypass capacitors, functions are same here, and input is very small, and output here you are getting similar like C amplifier, it is 180 degree phase shift, and here again 180 degree phase shift from this amplifier. So, total phase shift is 360 degree. This is very important. The input is here, output of this first stage is 180 degree phase shift, and output of second stage, that is this is a 2 stage RC coupled amplifier, this is the same, no phase shift, here it is the 360 degree. Now, this frequency response curve, this frequency response curve similar to C amplifier curve, even the explanations also similar, voltage gain, midband gain, 3 dB gain, even bandwidth. So, here gain will decreases low frequency as well as high frequencies. Here low frequency already told, this capacitor the reactance is more, offers high reactance because of this expression XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC. Low frequency reactance is very high. So, droppage of the volt there itself, so you are not getting more voltage at the output. So, voltage reduces in the sense gain also reduces. At high frequencies, the coupling capacitors offers low reactance, low reactance which consider loading effect to the next stage. Again, the voltage reduces, gain also reduces. In mid frequency, both will compensate. One, the input capacitor, the coupling capacitor will be shorted, but it is very small, the allowed, and high frequency the wire and junction capacitors, that is the open, and it won't load to the output. So, we are getting the constant gain in the middle range. Advantages are very important for 2 mark questions. Advantages, so it is very gain, no doubt, because it is very high amplification, because 2 stages we are considering. Less cost because we are using only capacitors and resistors like that, and good frequency response. And disadvantages, the impedance matching, it is very poor here because low frequency, and noise with the age means the time goes on because of the resistance capacitors, it won't work properly because the moisturing you won't get the correct values. So, we are getting the noisy, we are not getting clear signal, and these RC coupled amplifiers cannot amplify the 0 signals, that is a F is equal to 0, it can't use for the DC amplifiers. So, very low frequency or 0 amplification is not there in RC coupled amplifier. Next one, direct coupled amplifier. Direct coupled amplifier, no capacitors, no capacitors connection here. So, we have to imagine that is the direct coupled amplifier without capacitor, that is nothing but the DC coupled amplifier. Here R1, R2, RC, RE, RC and RE here, all are the biasing resistors, provides necessary bias to the circuit. VCC is the supply voltage, and here I taken only R1 and R2 here. The R1 and R2 giving the voltage divider bias to the next stage also. So, I did not mention again here itself. So, this provides necessary bias to the next stage also. So, imagine coupling RC coupled amplifier without capacitor, we are getting direct coupled amplifier, no capacitor. Here the gain of first stage is A1 and the second stage is A2. So, total gain is nothing but A1 into A2, and advantage of this is less expensive, amplify 0 frequency signal. So, coupling capacitors we are not using that. So, here 0 frequency amplification, DC, it can be used as a DC amplifier. Disadvantages, it can't use for the high frequency signals because it amplifies only 0 frequency, and poor temperature stability. Disadvantage, it is a poor temperature stability, it can't withstand high temperature. Frequency response curve, here imagine that is a RC coupled amplifier. Here the input part not reduced, low frequency it is not reducing, getting constant. Why? Because no input coupling capacitors. So, no question of resistance, if low frequency also no question of reactance, the output will be high. So, we have to consider, so this no question of reactance, that is X is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc, low frequency the reactance are not there. So, it is the no question of, that is the less gain. So, it is a constant, but a high frequency here the wire capacitance and junction capacitance come into picture. So, again it loads to the output. So, the output is reduces, automatically gain is less. So, we have to consider, this is the function of this graph. The comparison of power amplifiers, all the 3 amplifiers comparison. This is comparison of power amplifiers. Now I will pose on to the power amplifiers. Here comparison of power amplifiers. Before that we will discuss about the power amplifiers, that is class A, class B, class C and class AB power amplifiers. Class A, what is class A amplifier? The Q point is middle of the load line because the gain increases, or middle of the load line we are getting clear amplification. So, here no question of output will be less. So, we have to consider it is full 360 degree. Q point is middle of the load line, we are getting the full 360 degree at the output. And class B amplifier, it is only 180 degree. The Q point is at the cutoff region. It is only 180 degree at the cutoff region. So, we are getting the output is only 180 degree. And class C amplifier, the output is only 120 degree, is less than 180 degree. So, the output is only less than 180 degree. In the class C amplifier, the Q point is beyond the cutoff region. But class AB, it is midway between the middle of the load line and cutoff region. So, here class AB is less than 360 degree and more than 180 degree. So, the definitions taken as in the class C amplifier, the collector current full flow for the full cycle, here only half of that and here less than, and here more than class A and less than class B, that is the class AB you can take. So, this is the simple graph given for understand. Here class B amplifier, that is nothing but push pull amplifier. Class B amplifier, that is push pull amplifier, is very important for the final examination. Now, class B amplifier, that is the only the output will be half of that, clear? Output we are getting half of the input. So, here you have to note T1 and T2 are the transformers, Q1, Q2 are the transistors, and here this is the AB center tap transformer. You already studied in first year, center tap transformer, split inductance will be there. Here V1 is like this and V2 is the inverted. So, if A will be positive, B will be negative. So, A is negative, B is positive. So, this is the base emitter junction is 0 biased because connected to base directly, and here supply is very important for the circuit. The collector is reverse bias and emitter is forward bias. So, this transistor or this circuit act as a CE amplifier. You know the function of CE amplifier. When the input signal is positive, the output will be negative with the amplification. Now, we can consider the function. First one, A is positive, B is negative. A is positive connected to the Q1 transistor, it is forward bias and conducting, and we are getting the half cycle at the output like this, clear? And across this transformer and is coupled to the loudspeaker, we are getting the half signal here itself. Next, A is negative, B is positive. This transistor forward bias and it is base is forward bias conducting. we are getting the output waveform like this. So, other half you are getting in the output, clear. This also center tap. So, one is up, one is down you are getting, and the middle portion some gap is there, the middle portion some gap is there. Why we are getting that much of gap? Because delaying switch on from the one circuit to the other circuit, because of the contact potential it takes time to switch on. So, in this portion no conduction, one half cycle you are getting, again you are half cycle. So, this portion no conduction. So, here this distortion is called as the crossover distortion. So, here switch on to the ones to the other, that is one is on, other is off, that is called as the push pull. One is on, other one is off. This is about the push pull amplifier. And power efficiency is nothing but the output power to the input power DC, and no problems from this portion. This is the explanation briefly I gave, and here you can see the diagram very clearly. The dotted line which represents the cutoff, that is the contact potential of different transistors here, and this you are getting the distortion. The time goes on positive to negative, this portion you are getting distortion. So, this is called as the crossover distortion. Class C collector tuned amplifier. Class C collector tuned power amplifier working. Here this is the circuit, not much important, but it is very important for the communication system. This is almost similar to the C amplifier circuit. Here R1, R2 biasing resistors, RE also. This is the tuned circuit, this is the parallel resonance circuit. If you change the capacitance value, the impedance, the frequency of this will changes. Now, input signal, it is very high frequency we are giving here. Now, impedance of this changes the maximum at the resonance. So, changing the capacitance value, the frequency of this equal to the frequency of this, the resonance will taken place. So, it conducting. So, you are getting the output waveform. So, this one particular portion we are getting the voltage at the output. So, power efficiency, power output divided by power input. So, here I already told input. The frequency will be varied, you know, that is the resonance. You all studied in first year, resonance, series resonance, but here it is the parallel resonance, it is also called as the tank circuit. Or you can say the class C amplifier which produces the pulses which is given to the tank circuit which produces the output. Pulses means we are getting only class C amplifier, we are getting only less than 120 degree. Again it will be oscillated in the tank circuit, oscillated in the tank circuits. So, here it is the comparison of power amplifiers. Here there are conduction angle and position of Q point, overall efficiency and distortion, 360 degree and that is a 180 degree, less than 180 degree and 180 degree to 360 degree, and position of the Q point, center of the load line, at the cutoff, below the cutoff or between the cutoff and center of the load line. Already told. Efficiency, it is very poor in the class A, is better in the class B, and class C is much more better, and between the class B and C, that is the AB. And signal distortion is less in class A and more in class B, it is very large amount in class C, and between class A and B, that is nothing but class AB. Now, I given one problem, it is very important, go through that, one simple. So, this type of problem will come for the final examination. The comparison of coupled amplifiers, the RC coupled and direct coupled and transformer coupled, it is not much important. I did not consider here. If you want, you can go through the textbook, I already given the same table. And this is nothing but the power amplifier. In briefly, I explained what I explained, it is very important for the examination. So, I explained here point of the examination, I given the short notes. So, this is nothing but the third chapter. Thank you.